While old-time radio fans are generally aware of post-Golden Age dramatic radio programming such as Theater 5 and CBS Radio Mystery Theater, a little-known series from this so-called new time radio era is Stories of Pacific Powerland. Sponsored by Pacific Power and Light, a utility formed in 1910, the series aired over more than 70 stations in 6 states across the power company's service region, which stretched from California to Washington and as far east as Wyoming. Originally conceived in 1960 and premiering October 23, 1961, Stories of Pacific Powerland dramatized stories of the region's history in 5-minute episodes. The debut story focused on Air Force General Nathan Twining, who survived 6 days adrift on a life raft after his bomber crashed in the South Pacific during World War II. The series was considered an unusual sort of advertising for the utility, especially by the 1970s. In 1975, company statements indicate that the show had a budget that year of approximately $34,000. Stories of Pacific Powerland was introduced and narrated by veteran radio and television actor Nelson Olmsted for much, if not all, of its run. Clint Gruber was responsible for announcing duties at the beginning and end of each episode. Gruber also worked at Portland's radio station KOIN for many years. About 1,250 original episodes were broadcast during its run before it was canceled. Beginning in 1970, Thomas K. Worcester, a freelance writer from Clackamas, Oregon, took over writing and producing chores from John Forbes. Forbes and Worcester were responsible for all the 78 original scripts created each year. 3 stories aired during the week and repeated later in the year, leading to an estimated total of 2,500 broadcasts during its 16-year run. Over 40 years later, Worcester states that he was deeply touched by how much the audience seemed to love the show. Shortly before his death on July 3, 2020, he said in an interview on KIRO Radio in Seattle, "I've talked to people who would tell me they used to pull their car over to the side of the road and listen. It was that popular." Stories of Pacific Powerland and its unique stories of the Northwest United States would quietly leave the air in 1977. For Old Time Radio Researchers, I'm your announcer, Patrick Andre. Enjoy the show.